Okay, so good morning, guys. Welcome back. We will continue with our AWS session. So today is AWS Day 2 session, and today the date is 22nd of November 2025, and the timing is morning 8:10 a.m. IST. So thank you, guys, for joining the session. So let us try to continue our today's discussion. So, guys, in the last session, that was the day 1 session, right? We had covered the basic understanding about what is infrastructure is all about and what is on-premises, right? And also, like we had just tried to understand like what were the major challenges which we saw in the on-premise, right? So one of the biggest challenge what we found was the scalability, right? We will not be able to easily scale when it comes to the on-premises, right? Either it could be a vertical scaling or it could be a horizontal scaling. Any kind of a scaling would be it would be quite challenging for us to achieve the scalability when it comes to the on-premise data center, right? And also what happened, right? You will not find a lot of automation being adopted when you are working on on-premise, because again you need to spend cost on that managing all the automation part, everything. So that you will not you will usually you won't see all such things in the on-premises data center. Even today also, many of the companies who are managing the on-premises data center, right? Even they are facing all such challenges actually, right? But what happened, right? They are taking a lot of time to adopt it. And also, like for example, when it comes to scalability, yes, they know that there is a requirement for scalability, right? And usually what happened, right? They'll try to wait for an approval. Once the approval is done, then they will go and procure the hardware, and then once the hardware is procured, basically they'll set up the whole stuff in their data center. That's how they do it actually. Even today also the same thing happen. Whereas in case of a cloud computing, right, you don't have to worry all such things, because in the back end it is taken care by the cloud service provider, right? It could be Amazon, it could be GCP, or it could be Azure, or Microsoft Azure. They take care of all those scalability stuff actually, right? And they have automated in such a fashion that actually you'll be easily able to achieve the scalability. Either it could be vertical auto scale or the horizontal auto scaling. It can easily be achieved with the help of an automation actually. So that they have already achieved all such things. And every cloud service provider, guys, any cloud service provider might be, they are well with that automation, everything. Okay, it means that they have achieved the complete automation over there, right? So now, so that's what we had discussed about in the last session. We don't really go much in detail, because like we try to understand about what is the on-premise infrastructure and major challenges, right? Those are some of the things which we had covered in last session. So today, guys, today what we are going to do. So today also we will try to cover some more aspects about the cloud computing. What is cloud computing is all about? What are the cloud computing models like? What are if you particularly if you go into the Amazon, right? Amazon has the complete global infrastructure. What is a Amazon global infrastructure? What is availability zone? What are regions? These are certain things which we are going to cover in today's session. So as I said already, that even today's session also will be a quite kind of a theoretical aspect. So please let me try to complete this also, so that we will try to wind up whatever I have to cover in today's session, right? From tomorrow onwards, whatever, or from the next class onwards, what we'll try to get into the AWS networking services. That is our first service which we are going to start with from tomorrow session. Okay, fine. Is it fine? Okay. Now we know that whenever we are whenever we are into the businesses actually, so we have a lot of business requirements, right? Business requirements are nothing but the application requirements, right? So for the application to be hosted, we know that we need a lot of hardware resources, right? But the thing is that actually what kind of a infrastructure service you need whenever you are trying to build up some kind of a for your own business requirement, what kind of a stuff you need it actually. So basically, guys, we always think that actually whenever we develop the application, that application should be highly available, right? So the business requirement is that actually the application should be highly available actually, high availability, right? Once you develop the application, once the application is ready to be provided to the end customer, always the end customer expects the application to be highly available, right? So you need to create an architecture in such a fashion that Okay, you need to ensure the high availability will always be provided, right? So that actually what happened, you can give a continuous service to your end customer, right? If you are failed in this space where you are not able to provide the high availability, or sometimes the application goes down, you'll not be able to give the service, instant service to the end customer, so you might lose the customer actually. And in today's time, right, when so many competitions there, it is one of the very important criteria that you need to always maintain high availability. And this is one of the very highly challenging tasks when you work on your on premises, right? You need to maintain a 24 or 24 bar 7 monitoring you have to provide. And also, like, there have to be a lot of engineers who work who are behind to make your application up and running. So it becomes again a quite challenging task when you are working on premise. Hence what happened, why people move to the cloud, because when it comes to the cloud has, it always provides the high availability of the application. That's what even many of these cloud providers, right, like Amazon or your Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud, right, they say that actually our applications or whatever the application which is hosted in our server, right, it will never go down. The availability of that application will be 99.999%, like that they mention it. So that is that is a compliance which they come up with, saying that okay, our cloud doesn't go down at all, because these are all the services we provide and it will always be available and right. Suppose in case if there is any kind of a issue happens where the application like where some kind of issue happens in the backend, in the hard drive, in the hardware related thing, for that also they have some kind of a disaster recovery system where through that they will able to provide a continuous availability of that application. So they have a lot of backup plans. Okay, they have a lot of disaster recovery plans for you to give the availability of that service, right, to the end customers. Right. So high availability means you need to create an architecture in such a way that your system is always available, we say. Right. High availability, it ensures that we can always access our data in the cloud. So whenever we have all the things in the cloud providers will provide you the assurity that always whenever you want to access the particular data in the cloud, right, we are going to provide all the data to you. So this is what we call as a high availability. Guys, I'll not be writing any kind of a notes for this. Like whatever I am just discussing, you can understand it, because if I start typing, it will take time actually. That's what. Okay. And the next is a fault tolerance actually. So what do you mean by fault tolerance? So fault tolerance is something. This is a very common terminology, guys, which you always use in the software, IT software, right? Like what is fault tolerance means? Fault tolerance means how fast you'll be able to withstand or the recover from the failures. That's all. So it is something like can say the ability of our system to withstand the failure. Okay, right. For example, if one or more than one component goes failure, right? How you can able to quickly recover from that and are able to provide the service again back. So that is what we call the fault tolerant actually. Right. For example, I'm just taking for example, like in the fault tolerant, we say that actually, if suppose assume that if our one of our web server goes down, or few of the web servers goes down or it get failed actually. So there has to be a backup server. There has to be a backup of that web server, which has to be immediately it has to be taken over and it has to provide the service actually. So that is what we call the fault tolerant, right? So this is the business requirement I'm saying. What are the other things, guys? Scalability, which we had already discussed many times. Scalability is something like where it depends upon the need of the application, right? Say for example, if you want to statistically add or remove any resources, you want to statistically add or remove any resources to meet the application demand. That's what we call it as a scalability, right? So it means that it is a, if whenever you want to have the resource, you want to increase the resource, let it be a vertical scaling or let it be horizontal scaling, we say. So then what happened, right? It has to give it, so that always what happened, right? Whenever your application demands on demand, when it requires the resource, automatically the resources can be allocated for your application. Say for example, it needs more virtual memory, more CPU core it requires, right? So during the peak time when there are a lot of a network traffic load will be there on your application, at that time the scalability should be there, so that you will try to get more memory and more CPU actually, right? And whenever it doesn't need it actually, right, it has to be shrinked actually. Means that It has to be shrink means it has to release all those resources which are not required actually, and that we call it as elasticity. Elasticity is something like when it is ability to shrink actually, ability to shrink the the resources dynamically, okay, as needed. Is it fine, guys? So these are the four steps, guys, which always, whenever you are trying to develop any application for your business requirement, right? You will always keep all these things in your mind, right? And who will provide all these business requirement needs, right? The best thing is that your cloud will provide all these business requirements for you, right? So now, right? So that's the reason what happened, guys. People move with the cloud actually. So now the question comes, what is the cloud service? What is cloud service all about actually? See what happened, right? The cloud service it is kind of an any service actually which is available to the user, okay, to available to the user on demand via the internet from the cloud, from any kind of a cloud service provider. Say for example, like I'm giving a training, so you guys all are attending the training over the online only, right? So I am also providing a kind of a service to all of you, right? Because you are not physically sitting in front of me, right? You are sitting virtually at your home, but what happened? You are able to connect over the internet and you are able to get all the services whatever I'm providing. So I'm providing the training, you guys are taking the training, right? So I am also providing some kind of a service over the cloud actually, or over the internet, we say. Right. Similarly, what happened, right? Whenever you want to access any mail, actually. So what happened, right? You will go to the Gmail, you'll try to create an account, and you will try to access your Gmail, right? So you are using all kind of your mailing service, everything to Gmail, actually, right? So Gmail is also kind of some kind of a cloud service actually. Similarly, like a storage. Similarly, like whenever you are using any kind of a banking application, like for example, I am having a HDFC bank account, right? Whenever I want to access, I log in through the net banking and I log in with some credentials, and then I can able to operate my account through online only. So your HDFC bank, it is providing the service actually. So cloud service is, it is kind of an any service we say which is made available to the user on demand via the internet from the cloud computing providers servers actually, right? So cloud services is is any service made available to users on demand via the internet from the cloud service provider. CSP we call as a cloud service provider, right? That we call as a cloud services. Now the thing is that, Rajesh, then what is a cloud computing? What do you mean by cloud computing? Yeah, cloud computing is again it's the same thing. Cloud computing is like an on-demand. I can say that it's a like on-demand delivery of IT resources. Okay, over the internet, with the pay as you go pricing method actually, right? So you guys, like whenever you want to set up a business, usually what happened that, as I said in the last session, that you need to set up a data center, you need to have a hardware, like you need to have a servers, you need to have a storage, you need to have a network, you need to have softwares, you need to have a database, you need to have many other requirements like cooling system is required, electricity is required. Okay, so many network devices are required. So there are a lot of infrastructure setup you have to do, right? For creating your own data center or your own on-premises data center, right? So it becomes very costly affair. So a lot of investment you have to do. So instead it, what you do basically, like you can able to buy any kind of a services or from the service provider which provides all these computing services, like for example your server, storage, database, networking, right? So whenever you want to make use of the services provided by the cloud service provider over the internet with help of the pay as you go method pricing, that we call it as a cloud computing, right? Right. So instead of buying or owning or maintaining your physical data centers, you need not to really bother about all those things because your cloud service provider will take care of all those things actually. Right. So, and you'll be able to easily access any kind of a service over the internet actually. And one of the cloud service provider is Amazon, what we are learning, right? AWS is one of the cloud service provider through which we are able to get all those services, right, with the pay as you go pricing model, right? Am I clear, sir? So what happened, right? And how you are going to access this cloud computer? How you are going to access the cloud computing? So usually what happened, right? Every cloud service provider, CSP cloud service provider, it gives the ability. It gives the ability to manage the services and applications through I can say through the global networking. Okay. Using either the GUI, we call it as a console, or either through a console you can able to access all the services, or either through the CLI command line we say, okay, or either through the API, okay, and even we call it an SDK, software development kit, right? So this any one of these methods order you can use, you can access that services which is provided by the cloud service provider, right? Either through GUI, or either through the CLI command, or either through the API, or else to the SDK, software development kit actually, right? Am I clear, sir? Right? Now the thing is that, like, yeah, when you're going with the cloud service providers to get all kind of resources what you need for your requirement, right? Say, for example, you are developing an e-commerce application like Flipkart application you are developing, or else suppose you are developing a Swiggy application or Zomato application, which is a food delivery, online food delivery, right? So basically, like when you are setting, when you have the, when you are designing such applications, right, you need not to go and really procure all kind of hardware or set up the data center. Instead, what you happen, right? You say that, okay, I will try to go with some cloud service provider where I can get all kind of resource what is required for me to develop that application, and I can even host my application over there. I can give a online service to all my customers, okay, through the cloud itself. So now for example, like your Netflix, right? It is completely the whole Netflix, right? You are able to watch all the videos and all the movies and all from the Netflix, but where exactly it is hosted? So your entire Netflix, even the data, all your data, everything is stored in your Amazon itself. Amazon Cloud, AWS Cloud. Similarly with the Swiggy. Swiggy, in India that we do a lot of online food delivery, right? So through the Swiggy, you'll be able to place an order and the food will be delivered at your doorstep. How all these things are happening, how all these complex things are running nicely in the backend because of the cloud itself, because they have hosted the complete Swiggy application, everything onto the cloud itself. Similarly with the Zomato also. Similarly, even with the Prime Video also, like Amazon itself have hosted their own application, which is the Prime Video, through which you can watch online all kind of live streaming data you can do through those applications like Prime Video or Netflix. Again, this kind of a streaming applications or streaming apps are deployed in your cloud itself. Correct, guys? So it has become very important. So when we are when we are trying to develop the application, design that application, and create a complete infrastructure on the cloud, right? So why usually all these companies like Swiggy or Zomato or Netflix, there are many companies are there, why they go with the cloud? Because they see a lot of advantage of developing the application and hosting the application in the cloud. So they see a lot of advantage over there. What are the advantage which they see it actually? What are the advantage of the cloud computing? So you know that actually the major important is a cost actually, guys, right? Cost is one of the major factor actually, right? And usually what happen in today's time, people, the company who comes into the business, who are mainly into the application oriented, like for example, Swiggy owner, he's more concerned about the application which he's designing and developing, which he's trying to give the service. He's not really bothered about in the back end what hardware is used. Okay, he need not to really worry about all those things. For him, the main important thing is his application, right? Other things and all, it doesn't matter for him. So for that, what happened, right? He need not to go and really set up the big data centers, invest so much capital to set up the data centers and all. It is not really required for him. So he will get all the services from the cloud actually. And what happened, right? When he checks the what kind of investment if I go, if I when I what kind of investment if I do for setting up the data center, managing and maintaining it, versus if I go with the cloud, right, he see that cloud is providing the cloud is providing a lot of cheap service. It means that they provide so much, the charges or the costs are so low that actually he'll be able to easily manage everything with very less investment. He'll be able to easily obtain all kind of service what he requires, right, from the cloud actually. So that's the reason most of the companies today, instead of setting up the whole infra, they go with the cloud actually, because that is the best for them, right? Because when it comes to the cost, there's a lot of cost optimization or the cost reduction happens if you go to the cloud. Okay. So basically, what we say that cloud computing will try to eliminate, what we say, it will try to eliminate all the capital investment, right? Expense of buying the hardware and the software, setting up and running all the on-premise data centers, right? Like something like the racks actually of the servers, and also like you need to even maintain 24 bar 7 electricity for power cooling and all. Then you need some IT expert fellows who manage all this infrastructure. All those things, headaches will go off if you move to the cloud. Second important thing is that, of course, scalability, which we had already discussed, and elasticity. Okay. The third important is the high availability. Yes, this also we had discussed it actually. High availability and reliability. Okay. The fourth important thing is speed actually. So what happened, right, with the cloud actually, your organization can start using this cloud service in a very fastly. Within some few minutes, you can able to deploy your enterprise application, right? So that kind of an agility the cloud provides actually, because all the services are available. You have to just go and take that service, use that service, and with the help of that service, what happened, you can able to host your application. Suppose you already have an application ready, you want to just go and host that application in the cloud, you can immediately do everything within few minutes. So that kind of a speedness you're going to get from the cloud, which you cannot get in your on-premise actually, right? So you can host or deploy the applications, or you can say enterprise application, in minutes when you go with the cloud actually. The last thing is that actually, like, you can even you can able to deploy applications globally anywhere. Because we know that, guys, this cloud computing, it's not like that they have set up the data centers within in one geographical location, right? They have spanned across various different regions, right? For example, Amazon, it could be Amazon, it could be Azure, or it could be GCP. Even the Facebook also, they are also coming with their own cloud service now, Facebook cloud service. Now what happened, Mark Zuckerberg is investing a lot of money on setting this big data centers around the globe actually, right? So when the Amazon started, when they started, setting their own infrastructure, right? They started with first with in the US, that is mainly in the Northern Virginia. So the Northern Virginia region, what they did, right? They had set up some 6 data center actually. Then they went to the Oahu. They went into some other regions like California, North California, right? Central America, like that. After that, what they did, right? They tried to slowly move towards Europe countries. In UK, they set up in London and Stockholm. Like that, they had set up all the data centers throughout the globe actually. Even like you will find the Amazon data centers even in India, that is in Hyderabad, and even in Pune, they have the data centers, right? Similarly, when it comes to some other Asian countries like in Japan, like they set up in Tokyo and Osaka, they have set up the 2 data centers, main data centers, right? And when you go to the Middle East, like Riyadh, when you go to the Africa, South Africa, Cape Town, they have set up the data centers. So what I'm trying to say that they have set up the whole data centers across the globe. And also they have did in the back end what happened, right? They have set up the whole networking, everything they have set up. So it looks like a big mesh actually. Look like a big network mesh which they have set up actually. Same thing. Amazon also has did the same thing, right? Same thing, even like for example, even like Google Cloud has did it. So this one, let it be Google Cloud, or let it be Amazon, or let it be Azure. These are all the can say the public cloud providers actually. So they, because you'll be able to, anyone in they can able to access the service over the internet, because these clouds are public based cloud. Similarly, private based cloud. For example, I worked at Lumen Technologies, right? Lumen is a very big telecom based company in US actually. And what happened? Lumen has its own Lumen cloud actually. But so even they also what they did, right? They have set up lot of data centers, in a entire in an entire US region actually. I think around some 7 to 8 data centers they have set up actually, right? And even they have their own internal network. They have their own dedicated backbone network which they have set up. The way all this cloud service provider, right? They set up the whole the stuffs, everything through a very strong backend backbone network. They've set it up. Similarly, Lumen also have did the same thing. Even like, so for example, if I want to take some other companies, like if you go with the Japan, in Japan there is a company by name Rakuten. So Rakuten also have their own cloud actually, which they call as a one cloud. So even they have set up their own data centers. The data centers are there in Japan, the data centers are there in US, and some other continents. The data centers are there. Even they are also. But what happened? The difference between them is that Rakuten is a private cloud actually. Between that, they are hosting all their applications for their customers in their own cloud. Similarly, Lumen has hosted all the telecom-based product, everything in their own Lumen cloud itself. So those clouds, Lumen cloud or Rakuten cloud, that is one cloud, right? They are not exposed to they are not exposed to the public actually, because normal public they cannot access these clouds actually, because these are private clouds actually. Similarly, VMware is also a private cloud. They have set up their own data centers. So like that, many organizations are there, guys, which they have set up their own private clouds for their own customer base actually, right? So sometime what happened, right? They will see how the business is growing. So they say that okay, they'll say that okay, all these days our cloud was a private cloud. Now what happened that we are exposing to the public so that even public can able to access our cloud. Like for example, Rakuten, that is a one cloud, right, which they are having, right? Now they are coming up with the saying that actually now we are going to come at the public. Maybe already I think they have already planned to come up as a public cloud now. But till now, what happened that they were working as a private cloud only. Now they have come to the public. Similarly, earlier what happened, Oracle Cloud was also like that one. OCI we say, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Even they were private cloud actually earlier, because they had set up their own private cloud for their customer base, and all the product deployment, everything they were development to deployment, everything they were doing in their own cloud, and they are giving all the service to their end customer with their cloud. Slowly, what happened, right? They understood, okay, we can even run the business of the same cloud to even to the public also, so that any people who can able to use our resource actually, right? So that's how they are expanding their businesses actually. Right. So yeah, of course, private cloud, public cloud, we'll discuss about that, guys, in some time. What are those differences? But you can understand that some companies they set up their own private cloud, and many companies are there who are like a providers. Like for example, you have an internet service provider, right? So many internet service providers are there in India, right? Like Airtel is there, Jio is there, right? So they provide the services to all or to all the customers actually. Similarly, this public cloud providers like Amazon, GCP, or Alibaba Cloud, or else Azure Cloud, right? These are all public cloud service providers actually, right? So now, what are the types of clouds? Types of cloud computing. So one is the public cloud, private cloud, and what else, guys? You have something known as a hybrid cloud, and something is a multi-cloud actually. Right. So public cloud is something where anyone, it would be me, you, or even our Prime Minister of our India, right? He can go and he can able to create any kind of resource in the public cloud actually, right? So basically, all these public clouds are actually run by or it's owned and it is operated by some third party, cloud service providers, right? So they deliver all this, computing service resources like server, storage, networking, everything over the internet to all the people actually, right? So AWS, Microsoft Azure, GCP are the examples of the public cloud, and even Alibaba Cloud. Many clouds are there. There are around some 17 to 20 cloud service providers are there, which I mean they are public cloud providers. You'll be able to access it actually, right? And but what happened, right? Only they're providing the service to you, right? But what happened in the back end, whatever the hardware which is required, software is required, and all other supporting infrastructure is required, right? That are all managed and owned by that service provider only. Like Amazon manage their own data center. Similarly, Microsoft manage their own data center actually. Am I clear, sir? So you'll be able to access all the services Okay, how you will be able to access services? Because there is they will provide some kind of a GUI way where what happen, they will provide you the access by creating an account in their website, right? Suppose for example for Amazon, you should always have an account, we say. So we have to always go with the aws.console.com, like that. You have to go with that URL. Once you go with that URL, it will ask you to create an account. You have to follow some process to create an account. Once the account is getting created, so you have authenticated to the cloud account, and through the web browser or through the API or through the CLI, you will be able to access all the service what is provided by that cloud provider. So it means that, guys, whenever we want to access these public services, there is a way. It means that you need to first have an account, right? And they will give you some kind of a URL. They will give you some kind of a web URL. Through that, you have to just log in into that URL, and then you need to go and create an account, and then you can start using that service, right? And they have different models actually. They have different. Can say support plans are there, models are there. You will try to go with any one plan. With that, according to that plan, you will start using that service actually, right? So that is what the public cloud is all about. Sir, who is drawing, sir? Somebody is drawing. Please don't draw it, sir. Okay. Okay. Now, what about the private cloud? As I said, private cloud, it also refers to the cloud computing resources, but it is usually or it is exclusively used by a single business or organization. So, private cloud are also cloud only. They are also cloud service provider only, cloud computing resource only, cloud computing resources, but it is managed by okay resource used exclusively by a single business or organization, we say. Okay, so basically, Rajesh, where this private cloud exists actually? Basically, guys, this private cloud actually exists physically in the same company. By suppose, for example, now if you come to the Bangalore, there's a HP company is there, right? If you go to Bangalore, Mahadepura, there's a company by name HP Enterprise. HP Enterprise, it's a big building actually. It's like a 10-floor building, right? If you go to each and every floor, right, in one of the corner, right, there is a wing is there, there's a B wing is there, and along with that, there is one more is there, no, the C wing is there. So in the C wing, what happened, right? They have particularly kept that C wing only for having the complete data center. So if you go to each and every floor, no, the same C wing, they will have that data center actually. They have their own data center. So that is nothing but they are physically there. That data centers are located inside the company only, inside the building only, right? So what they're doing is actually that they all those are there in their own on-premise data center, their own building actually, and they're using that as a their own internal cloud service. It means that they're using that data center. They set up their own HP cloud, which is the private cloud, and they're using it actually. Am I clear, sir? Some companies are there. What they do, right? They have their own data center. Okay, like for example, HP has a own data center, but sometimes what happens, some of the services they'll not be able to manage it. So what they do, right? They'll tie up with Amazon. They'll say that okay, we have our own data center, which is a private, but we need some support from you. So can you give us? So they'll go with that, and what kind of a services you needed based on that, they will charge the money. I mean that Amazon will send a people to HP company, so they will try to call them, and what kind of a service they need, these people will sell the service. Like that, many companies are there who take the services who take the services to manage their private cloud also. Like even Microsoft companies also, they are providing so many services for many companies who are maintaining their own private clouds actually, right? Similarly with the Google also. Google also they're having a lot of people who are working for some other company's private cloud because they are supporting it actually. Am I clear, sir? So hybrid cloud is not, but it is a combination of both public and private cloud actually. It's a combination of both public and private cloud. Right. For example, if you take an example of SBI, okay, State Bank of India. State Bank of India, what happened, right? It's a very big banking, banking, right? Banking solution is provided by India, right? And it comes under the Indian government. So what SBI do basically, they have their own private cloud. It means that they have their own data center they have, which they are managing from years together. Like if you ask me, from when they started managing their data centers, guys, early 80s, right? Early 80s, in 1980s, itself, they had their own data center actually, right? I met one person who had worked on the SBI data centers in 1985 or 82. He was working on those data centers which were for that SBI bank actually. Such old, like data centers they maintain it. Even today also, SBI have their own data centers, have their own private cloud actually. Now the thing is that actually that when SBI they have their own data centers actually, what SBI will do that SBI will not only have along with the private cloud or along with their own data centers, they even want to provide a lot of solution even the private and the public cloud also. Right. Suppose, for example, SBI has is hosting its own application, right? The net banking application and many other applications. So what they're doing, they're hosting all their application into the public cloud only. Like for example, they're going with the Azure cloud, and with the Azure cloud, they're hosting all their application. Then why they have their own private cloud? So what SBI is doing that SBI, just to be very much safeguard, what's happened, right? This most of these financial fintech companies, right? Financial related domain or company, right? They always manage their own private cloud because they want to manage their own databases or the all kind of a data related to their customers, right? They don't want to really expose into the public cloud. They want to maintain it in a very privately within their own data center. That's what happened. The entire data, whatever they want to maintain, right? They'll be maintaining everything in their own private cloud only. Only the application which they want to like host, right? That they will go with the private, so public cloud actually. So you will find many companies in today's time, right, where they are going with both public and private actually. If you want to give an example, one more example, like what is it? Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is having his own company, so X company, right? X company, all their X applications, it is running on both public and private cloud. It means that they have hosted the X applications in the in the Amazon, right? But all the data related to that, they are maintaining everything in their own data center actually, right? So it's a combination of both public and private cloud actually, right? So here what happened, right? Why we go with this hybrid cloud? Because right, you will firstly what happen, you need to manage a lot of security, you need to maintain a lot of security when it comes to your data, right? When it comes to customer data or something, you need to have a lot of security stuff. So some financial based organization, right? Like for example, SBI might be, or it could be a JP Morgan, or it could be a Goldman Sachs. They don't really trust on the public cloud. So what they do, right, they will manage all those data in their own local data center or in their own local private cloud. That's how they do it actually. And most of the fintech, 99% or not even 99, 100%, all the fintech company, right? They will manage their own data, customers data, everything in their own databases, in which is there in their own, private cloud actually. They never ever try to have any kind of a database which runs on the public cloud. That they don't want to take a risk actually, right? But what happened when they want to host their products, when they want to host their applications, yeah, then they will go with the public cloud because they are seeing a lot of advantage of hosting their applications. The front end applications, everything they host in the public cloud, and the back end, whatever you are processing with the data, that the database and all, it will be maintained in the private cloud. That's how they do. That's how the combination of both this cloud they use it actually. Right. So why they do it? Because like, for example, guys, because hybrid cloud gives you, I mean, it always gives your business a very high flexibility, a greater flexibility. Okay. And you will be able to do a more and more deployments you can able to do because public cloud are very fast actually, right? And it helps to optimize your existing infrastructure also actually, right? Instead of managing everything within your own private cloud, which is a tedious task, some part of the work of the application or some part of your with your entire application you'll be hosting in the public, and some other will be for in the private cloud. So again, for the private cloud, because you have to maintain all kind of security and compliances, right? For that they maintain in the private cloud, right? Multi-cloud, again, what happened at many clients or the customers, what they do, right? They will go with the multi-cloud. So they have the entire the whole setup of their application, right? They will be having in more than one cloud, right? Like for example, there are many kind of a healthcare sectors are there. Like for example, in US there is a company by name Delta Dental, right? Delta Dental, they are managing in multi-cloud, so they are running all their applications, everything into the Azure cloud. But in the back end, actually, for the database and all, they're maintaining in the AWS cloud actually. So both the clouds they are using actually. Right, multi-cloud is like kind of a strategy where organization they leverages more than one or two clouds actually. So why they do it again? Because that, for example, assume that actually that they don't want to really concentrate all the things in one cloud actually. Suppose assume that they have deployed, hosted, they're managing all their customer data, everything in their one cloud. Assume that they're managing everything in AWS cloud. Suddenly, whatever they are managing, that suddenly assume that they have you chosen some region, like they have chosen some Northern Virginia region, which is one of the oldest region, one of the oldest and the first region which the Amazon set up. Assume that actually some kind of a natural disaster happened there in that region, right? Even though Amazon says that no, we will provide 99% of the availability of the application, we will give all kind of a backup of your all your important data, your data will not be lost. They will try to give that kind of a SLA agreement with all customers. But sometime what happened, right? With the natural disaster, human is helpless, right? He can't do anything, right? So suppose some big disaster happened, and these Amazon people know these people didn't had any kind of a recovery at all for that, or they are not able to recover it. Then what happened, right? They are losing the complete business, even like they're losing the trust of the customer, right? And even what happened, customer will be very much unhappy with your service. He doesn't want to really go with or do any kind of a business proposition with you in the near future. So it's in both the side, it's a complete loss only. From the customer end, he is losing all his data and everything. He is losing his business, right? Similarly, what happened, the cloud service provider like Amazon, right? Even they are losing that big customer. And what happened, there will be a bad name in the market. So many things are there, people don't trust on you. Okay, you will not get new customers, or you might lose many of the existing customers might move out from the Amazon to some other cloud. It has happened actually, even in the recent time also, you see that some big problem happened with Amazon. Because, right, I don't want to go with the details actually, but you have heard many things about this story, right? Even many companies are there, guys, who have slowly migrated from the Amazon to the Azure, from the Amazon to GCP. You have seen it. Even I have seen many companies in my life where they have moved from one cloud to other cloud. So what has happened means, many of the customers, what happened, right? They are seeing an agility of, okay, instead of having one cloud, let me use multiple cloud. Let me use three or four clouds for my entire setup. Okay, database I'll maintain in Azure. The main application, everything will be managed in AWS. For some security stuff, okay, I'll be using something like in GCP cloud. So they will use more than one cloud. And that agility, when they try to know it actually, if any one thing is disturbed actually, they know easily how to migrate or how to go with the other cloud actually. So that the business continuity, the availability of that application should always be available actually. So many customers in today's time, right, they are going with the multi-cloud option also. And this is what even we have to study. When we are learning a cloud, don't stick to one cloud, don't stick to only AWS cloud. Please also update on AWS, Azure also. Please also update on the GCP also. These three clouds are sufficient, guys. Don't have you need to really go and learn other clouds actually, it's not required. So any two combination, either AWS with the GCP, you go with this combination of learning, or either AWS with Azure, you go with actually. So in today's time, as per my knowledge, actually, AWS with GCP is something which is gaining huge market actually. You will see that many companies are going with this AWS with the GCP actually, right? And many companies are there, yeah, they're only going with the AWS only, right? Sorry, Azure only, right? So even you will find many of the job requirements only Azure is most asked actually, most asked cloud actually. That is also there. But as per my knowledge, if you in your resume, if you are having AWS and if you're having GCP, this two cloud, if you're showing in your resume, obviously, even of course, even Azure and AWS also, if you put it two clouds, if you put it right, that will have a much more impact, right, in your resume actually. And one more thing I want to just add on, guys, like once you have a knowledge on this cloud, actually, you should have hands-on. One is one thing. Second is one thing that you need to show in your resume that you have worked on this cloud for more than 4 or 5 years. Okay, and also you have used this cloud platform in your projects actually, in your DevOps projects or any other project which you're showcasing, right? You have used it, and the last you need to showcase even the certification also. If you're not certified, you just say that I have worked on the project or hands on all. I mean, they will go with that. They'll agree with that. Okay, but what happened? Certifications are something which will be having more impact actually, right? Whenever any vendor, when they see your resume and when they see that okay, he has an hands-on, he has did all this project, he has used the cloud in all the projects where he has worked. Plus, he also has been certified means that has more impact actually, right? So that's the reason. Go with AWS first, and then you can learn GCP also parallelly. And also, if time permits, you can even go with the Azure. But don't think that, one more thing, guys, I want to tell you, don't think that all the clouds are same. Don't think that I learn AWS. For me, learning GCP or Azure becomes very, like it is same thing only. I need not to learn. It's not like that. Right? All these cloud vendors are not full. Okay. Azure has not copied all the cloud, everything from the AWS. Similarly, GCP, the Google Cloud has not copied any kind of a thing related to from the AWS actually. All these clouds are individually, they have been designed, they have been set up actually, and you need to learn in a different way only. It means that when you're learning AWS cloud, yes, you need to learn only AWS cloud. Once you learn one cloud AWS, right, then you need to learn other cloud like Azure. When you learn, yeah, you can able to compare what you learn from the AWS, and you can able to quickly learn the Azure concepts also. But you cannot say that, okay, Rajesh, I know Azure, I know AWS means I will also know Azure also. No, it's not like that, guys, because the GUI, the options, what to use it, and the way you try to call AWS, sorry, CLI commands actually, even in GUI, it is entirely different actually. It's entirely different. So you cannot do a apple to apple comparison. You cannot do when you are learning cloud actually. So you have to learn in a different way only. Azure, you have to learn in a different way. It means that you need to keep in your mind like, oh, Azure is a completely different cloud. I need to learn in that particular way only. The way you are learning AWS now, right? Similarly, you need to have a thought process of learning Azure in a different way. Of course, one cloud knowledge will help you to learn the other cloud in a better way. But don't think that, okay, I know one cloud means I can understand all other cloud. No, it's not like that. You need to learn in a separate way only. Am I clear, sir? So please remove all those things in your mind that, okay, I have one knowledge means I'll be able to answer. Suppose you say that you are a very much expert in AWS, assume that actually. And you just put in your resume that, no, you know Azure also. Guys, and when you go for an interview, you will miserably fail because you'll not be able to answer any kind of a question on Azure, even though you're very strong in AWS. Vice versa is also same. Like you know Azure very well. You cannot simply put in resume that I know AWS everything. No, you'll miserably fail because you'll not be able to answer any of the questions when they ask you on AWS actually. So don't go with that with that no, with that thinking that, no, I can understand or I can able to answer the other cloud also. No, please practice. Make a hands-on. Once you're comfortable with all kind of terminologies related to terminology services, hands-on on that, and also you should be able to explain how you have used that cloud, right, when it comes to a project level, and also like what kind of a security measure you have to get, like how robust you are providing the security to an end customer, what kind of a security services you used in the particular cloud, that also you have to explain very clearly, right? Because when it comes to security, both the clouds, yeah, of course, they provide the different services, right? You need to know, you need to understand about what are those services are all about, how it is used in the end customer side, right? How you are using it, and how it is exactly it is impacting the security stuffs for the end customer's requirement. Those things also you should be able to learn, and you should be able to answer it actually, right? So please, as I said, please don't consider it as a all or one actually. No, all are different actually, right? Am I clear, sir? Okay, good. Apart from this, what are the things, guys? Okay, for example, mm, guys, can we remove? I mean, who has drawn this? I think I'll not be able to undo it. Can anyone undo? Whoever did it, can you remove this line? Uh, okay, don't do that. I think somebody is playing with a draw, right? Like, I think I have to remove that access. I'll remove it. Okay. Now, fine. So guys, now you go with your public cloud service provider. This particularly public cloud service provider, they provide three models actually. The public cloud provides it provides three models actually. We call it as a cloud service models. Three cloud service models. What are those? One is an IaaS, infrastructure as a service. One is a PaaS, PaaS as a means platform as a service, and third and other is a SaaS, software as a service. Right now, if you go to the Google and if you try to search for cloud service models, models image. I know many of you have already seen this image a lot of time, right? This is what you're having actually. Okay, it has only two actually. These are on premises, but yeah. So this is what it is. So when you see when you see the complete stack actually, right? The stack has everything. Like for example, it has a network, storage, server, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, data, and application. This everything you will be set up in your on premises, right? So this is your on-premises stuff actually. But when it comes to the cloud, if you go with the particular with the private cloud, public cloud like Amazon's, AWS or Azure, they provide these three models actually. They provide the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Now, suppose in case for your requirement, suppose assume that you want to develop an applications, right? For your application, you have certain requirements, right? For example, assume that actually whenever an architect design that application, they say, okay, for our application to run, we need this is software, we need some kind of a middleware, okay, we need a particular OS, right? Because our application it is OS specific. Maybe like you might be developing application which works only on Linux, right? Or maybe you are developing an application which works only on Windows. I mean, it depends upon the architect, like how he designs it, right? So now what happened, right? When you have your own requirement, when the company have their own requirements, they can choose which particular model I can go with. Either if I want to go with infrastructure as a service model, or either as a platform, or either as a SaaS. Now assume that some customers, for example, Flipkart actually, if the Flipkart company comes and if they say that okay, we are designing an e-commerce application, but we need to have certain controls on the middleware stuff, or we need to have some controls on the operating system side, or we need to have a control on the runtime side. Then what happened? The Flipkart company will go with the infrastructure as a service model from AWS. So infrastructure as a service, what they say that actually these stuffs, like for example, your networking, storage, server, and virtualization, these four important things which is managed by your cloud itself actually, or by that vendor itself. Like Amazon itself will manage all these things. Here you cannot touch it actually. The server, storage, networking, and virtualization. But apart from this, like operating system, middleware, runtime, data, application, right? This you will be managing it actually. It means that suppose Flipkart companies go with the infrastructure service, so they know that okay, this will be under their control. So whatever the optimization which they want to do based on their application, right? They can able to do in this actually. But suppose tomorrow they said, Rajesh, I want to go and I want to do some changes in the server side. I want to replace something, or storage, I want to do certain things. You don't have the control over here, because here the cloud service provider will take care of all these things. So this is what we call the infrastructure as a service actually. Many companies are there, when they opt with that, they will go with this service actually. Infrastructure as a service. And again, what happened, guys, here they will get a better control because they'll be able to log in their operating system, or they'll be able to do a lot of changes into the middleware stack actually. It depends upon their business requirement, they will go with that actually, right? And some companies are there where platform as a service actually, they're not really bothered about any kind of any kind of a thing about the operating system or the runtime and all. They're not really bothered about that. They're only bothered about their application and the data actually. Like for example, Swiggy application, Swiggy, what happened at Swiggy, they're not really bothered about okay, which underlying operating system I want to choose. They're not really bothered. I have my application, let my application runs on Windows, or let my application works on Linux. I'm not really bothered about that. I am only bothered that my application is like it is up and running, it is working fine, and always it is up and running. That is what he will be concerned. So in that case, what happened? Like company like Swiggy will go with the platform as service. In the platform as service, all other things, guys, runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, all these things are managed by the cloud itself. Whereas application and data, yeah, you need to take care of it actually. Yeah. Suppose his application is working, suddenly assume that they got some kind of a issue happened in the operating system, right? So then what happened, right? Here what happened, the vendor or the cloud service provider will take care of fixing all the issues in the operating system level. Suppose assume that Swiggy is working and he is facing some problem with the application, right? Your Amazon will not come into the picture, because Amazon say it's your application, you manage it. We are not there to support for your application. We can only support for your application. We can only support up to your runtime. You need anything, any related changes to the runtime or middleware? Yeah, you tell us. We will do it actually, right? But what happened whenever it comes to the application side? You are the owner. You have to manage it actually. Similarly, here what happened, right? Application is owned by the vendor, by the client itself. But what happened apart from the application and the data, even runtime also you can configure. Even you can middleware also, you can install certain other software what is required for you. So here you will get a complete like control over the software management and everything, OS everything. That is you call as IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Whereas here only you will be only thinking about the application and the data actually. This is because of platform as service. Many companies are there. Like for example, for the platform as service, every cloud service provider will provide certain kind of a platform. Like for example, you have a AWS Elastic Beanstalk is there, right? AWS Lambda is there, right? And in case of Azure, we have a Azure app is there. Azure app function is there. Okay, Azure functions are there. These are all something like a platform as a service. Actually, they provide you the platform. For example, you are developing an application which is a Python based application. You say that Rajesh, I want Python 3 point version something. I want that Python version. I want that Python related all the software stack I need. Yeah, go with that platform as service from the particular cloud. Ask for what kind of a runtime you need it. You will choose that I need Python or I need a Java based or I need something Node.js. You can just select that platform and you can go and deploy your application. Right? Now, apart from this, there's a software as a service there. You're not really bothered about anything. You want to only use as a service actually, right? So here there are many companies out there who develop this software as a service. It means that you have to only pay the money for using that service. Like for example, your Google Drive, right? You are not managing everything, right? The Google Drive is taken care by the Google itself. Now, what you do for you to access the Google Drive, you need to only have an account. That's all, and you need to go with a particular plan. Like either you go with the 1 terabyte space or whether you go with the 5 terabyte space. That is your plan. You go. But what happens? You start using that service actually. So software service where from the application to the complete stack, the all your hardware, software, networking, everything, all the things managed by your cloud service provider only. Like for example, you have a Gmail. For example, you have Microsoft, what do you call, Microsoft Office, 365 Office, Gmail, Google Mail, Google Storage. Actually, these are all work as a software as a service. Actually, right? You're not owning that application. You're not really bothered about the application. You want to only use that service actually. That's all. Like Gmail, Open 365, Microsoft Open 365 service, right? That is for your mailing or for a chat, Teams or something, right? You go with Open 365. These are all works as a software as a service actually. Am I clear, sir? So these are the three models are there, guys. You can go with any of this model, right? Right? Okay, good. What else you have? Okay. Now, apart from this, actually, what are the things? We know that there are popular cloud service providers are there, right? And in today's time, guys, I went to one of the site where I just got this image. You could see that, guys. This is what these are different cloud providers are there, like Amazon, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle, Salesforce, IBM Cloud. Okay, Tencent Cloud is there. You could see that according to Q3, the quarter three now it's a Q4, the Q3 2025. It means that this data is just like 2 3 months back data. If you see it actually, the popular, which is nothing but your Amazon still, which is leading in the market with 29% share. And also Azure, you could see that it is next 20%, but you will soon see Azure in next 1 or 2 years, right? It will supersede AWS. It means that it will in a race, right? It will try to go ahead than AWS, right? Google is also slowly coming in the back. You could see that even many of the customers or the clients, right? They are going with the Google Cloud because they are seeing lot of things advantage when it comes to the Google Cloud, right? And other clouds are there which which are in single digit actually. So it means that when you are learning the cloud, actually, you could see that these three clouds, Amazon, Azure, and Google, if you try to club all these three clouds together, which is not but the public cloud, it crosses more than 60 to 60 or 62% actually, right? Around 61, 62%, the market share is there actually. So if you see such a, the combination of the three major players, right, you will see if it is more than 60%, right? Right, it means that actually there's a huge requirement will be there for the cloud engineers in the near future because this will be keep increasing, guys. Right, this will never come down. So for the job related to the cloud, right, will always be there now. Let it be a simple cloud engineer from the cloud level 1, level 2 engineer to the senior cloud architect, right? You will find plenty of job opportunities now. That's how you could see that actually in 2025, right? Year on year, 28% of growth is there. They're seeing in the revenue, and you could see that in the Q3 2025, right? There was 107 billion, what you call business happened in this actually, right? So year on year, you could see that actually there's always an increase in the percent of that revenue growth actually when it comes to the cloud. Why it is happening again? Why it is growing every year? Because many of the customers or the client side who were working on the on-premise data center, who are having their application in their on-premises, they all have started moving slowly to the cloud actually. Even you take any company like some very big insurance based company in US, they were all maintaining everything in their own data center, like Delta Dental, one of the biggest insurance based company, right? They have moved all their service everything to the Azure cloud, right? Like that. So many of the companies, right, they are slowly migrating. Even that migration also still they are doing it only. Still they're doing it. Many companies are doing it. Many companies on process. Sometimes the migration might take like more than a year to do the complete migration, right? So that's how, guys. That's the reason what happened, right? Like there's a huge revenue is there in it, because when you want to migrate means you have to go with that particular cloud. You need to opt for the services, and you need to completely migrate your applications, server, database, data, everything you need to migrate to the cloud, right? You need some good engineers who have a very good knowledge on the cloud actually, right? And you need a company who will provide all the services actually. So in that way, what happened, right? There is a huge job requirements will start, job openings will start, and no, people will get a lot of good opportunities to work under the cloud platform. And you will see that you will also get some very good big salaries which are given by a lot of big companies. Even Amazon is giving a big salary now, even though they have did a lot of layoffs now, but still you could see for the job requirements, still they have some people, some job requirements are there where they're only asking on cloud itself. Similarly, the Microsoft Azure, even though they have laid off a lot of people recently, right? You might have heard of from last 2 years, they're continuously laying off, but still in Azure cloud, right? There's a huge requirement still. It is available in Microsoft company. Same with the Google also. Google also has fired many people, but again, when it comes to job, yeah, they have the requirement. Not only them, it's not only the core company which they are offering it. Many companies are there who are using this service, right? Right? Like Lumen company is using AWS service. They are using Azure service, right? They are using this Azure cloud. Even they need a lot of people, engineers who work on this cloud actually, right? So like that, many companies are there. Like for example, Genpact company. Genpact is completely using their entire app, everything. They're using this Google Cloud only. So if you go to the Naukri and if you try to search for Genpact, they say that they need no Google Cloud professionals actually, right? So like that, you could see that Unisys company, they have on the GCP actually, right? A Wells Fargo company have a job requirement on Google Cloud. They are using their Google Cloud for their own requirement, right? They're using it actually. So this cloud job is there actually, right? But along with the cloud, like two, three areas, guys. One is a cloud, which we need to learn. Cloud, right? Each and every cloud, minimum some 20 to 25 services you need to learn. 25 services, all important services we have to learn. Let it be in AWS or Azure or GCP. You need to learn very important 25 services, and complete lab you need to do. Okay, and you need to have a complete end-to-end knowledge on those services and how it is used actually, how that service is used in the real time actually, when you are deploying that, when you are deploying these services actually, and at the customer side, right? How the services is actually used actually. Okay, what is an advantage and disadvantage of the services, everything that you need to learn, right? And also like finally, how you are providing the security in the cloud service. This is one thing. Cloud security is very important, which we all have to stress. And the last is an automation actually. Automation means either through Python or Go actually, or Go language. So these are the three areas, guys, which I would stress to all of you, that when you want to get a job in the cloud, these three things. One is the cloud. You need to know not only one cloud, at least minimum two clouds, either AWS with GCP or either AWS with Azure. Two cloud knowledge you should have. with all fundamental, from fundamental to all the lab access, you should update everything. Plus, you know, to even stress on the cloud security. Also, there are many cloud related services are there. Will be covering a lot in AWS also. That thing you need to stress a lot, right? And also the automation. Is there any way where you involved in doing a lot of automation tasks? These are the three things which will fetch you a very good job only on cloud only, right? And there are many companies are there who are giving, who are having, like this kind of a work actually. Many companies are there actually. Companies like Qualcomm, they are having, right? Qualcomm company is having, where they need a very no, they need a lot of people who are very good at cloud security level, very good at automation level. Yeah, Qualcomm is also having. Freescale company is also having a job requirement like that. Many big giant company like Broadcom is having. NetApp company is also having a requirement where they are only looking for a Python automation on the cloud platform with security. So these are the things. This is a very good combination. I mean, some people who don't want to really go with something like a DevOps, right? They can only upgrade on this. Yeah, of course, like I mean, some or the other tools might come in the picture. Like for achieving all this complete automation, you might use pipeline. Yeah, of course, you have to use pipeline, and the cloud itself will provide the cloud services for the pipeline, right? Like Azure will provide Azure DevOps as a pipeline service. Similarly, your AWS will provide a AWS code pipeline service. Similarly, GCP will provide the GCP related pipeline. Yeah, you need to know all the services. So it means that somewhere or the other, you will be knowing even about the DevOps tools also, right? Right. You might use as an internal service provided by that particular provider, or some external tool also you might use. For example, you might use a HashiCorp Wall tool actually for all kind of a managing, maintaining all kind of a secret passwords. You can use it. Externally, you will be using that service, or as internally, the cloud might provide that service to you. Like in AWS, you have AWS KMS is there. In Azure, we are having Azure Vault services there. You will be using that service for maintaining the secrets and the passwords actually. But it's left to you, like it's left to that organization how they use it actually, right? So apart from all these things, guys, some one or two tools might be used. The DevOps tools might be used at work actually, and it's not a big deal. Once you have a complete knowledge on this part, I don't think that I don't think that you will not get job. You will get the job actually, but one or two tool on DevOps side they might expect from you, right? For that, it's not a big thing to learn. If you have already covered up learning all these things, learning one or two tools in the DevOps is not that big deal for you, right? So even some of you can even concentrate on this also, because why I'm stressing this, because now when I'm searching for a job, I'm seeing all these job requirements actually, right? So that's what I said. Am I clear, sir? Okay, guys. So now, very good. Now, so guys, because now we started with the AWS cloud actually, right? AWS cloud. So we will try to concentrate more on AWS only, right? AWS and firstly, what happened? The first thing is that, guys, you need to have an account. You need to create account. Guys, I'm sure that most of you already have the cloud account, because when we started this course, right, when we started with the basic Linux, right, at that time only we had created an account, right, with the help of Rajiv, right. He was able to create an AWS account with the credit card, right, with his credit card, and 2 rupees will be deducted, guys. And with that, what happened? You're able to create the account actually. And because many of these cloud service, right, they have stopped giving a lot of freebie service. Even Amazon is also has stopped giving a lot of free services. Now what they've did, that Amazon have started giving the free service only for 6 months. Some of the free service only for 6 months. They've started giving it, and right, and what happened, right? Under the free trial, it is available only for 6 months. After the post 6 months, what happened, right? It will be, you need to change the what I call subscription to pay as you go. You have to 6 months free trial eligibility, right? With the what happened, with the $100 they are giving it. Some people, they have said that they have even got $200 credit. For that, you need to follow some process to get the 200 credit. So if you're getting $200 credit also, it is good, that because you'll be able to practice all major things like networking, AWS networking part, AWS EC2, AWS Route 53, or AWS load balancer, AWS RDS, all these services, guys, you'll be able to complete all your lab access, everything in $200. So try to ask some people. I will also try to get those who have got the $200, right? You will be able to get it, right? Sometime what happened, right? AWS community itself will give some kind of a coupons to you. You might involve in doing some kind of a community help. When you involve with the community, AWS community builder, right? When you try to involve with them, based on your work activity, whatever you do, right? Sometime what happened, the Amazon's AWS itself will give you a lot of credit scores for you. So you'll be able to grab that credit score. So credit code something they will give you some $200, $500 they'll give you. You can even get it. So you need to be very active. So you could see that many people in the YouTube they claim that they are AWS community builder actually. So they literally help to promote the AWS cloud, right, through their channels or through their mediums, and they try to showcase that what kind of an advantage you will get, benefits you're going to get if you're going with the AWS cloud, because they're promoting that particular cloud actually. So when they promote it, actually, they are actually adding a lot of business values for the Amazon company, and that's the reason Amazon want to, as a guester, they want to give all these credits. They want to give the credits to their account. They will also send many times they'll say, try to send the gifts to your home address. It will be delivered to home address. You have seen that many YouTubers, right? Like many, if I want to take like Amishek Verimula are there, many people are there like who say that okay, I got this gift kit from Amazon, right? So they get it because they try to promote that cloud a lot of in many medium they have tried to promote it. Even in LinkedIn they try to promote it. A lot of ways are there they try to promote it so that Amazon or even Microsoft, right, even they get happy and they want to make you happy. They usually they want to they want to give a credit to you. Like I want to give my example. Okay, what I did now last month, if you have seen that, I have uploaded a lot of videos, around 25 to 30 videos. I uploaded in my channel. I got an email from YouTube saying that okay, Rajesh, you did so much video, you did it. Okay, so it from with our guest like what happened that we are giving this much of credit to your account like that. They sent an email to me. Whether it was a small thing, but what happened? It is like just to just to boost your confidence, just to boost you, or just to just to let you know that okay, you be more engaged in delivering same thing in the near future. Try to upload more and more video. Okay, try to give create a lot of shorts and all. Please create all shorts. Don't deliver any kind of a content more than 50 minutes. That kind of a tips tricks I'll be keep getting from YouTube actually. Because see, even YouTube are also into business. Even they want to make their business, right. So they want to connect with all the people who are contributing onto this YouTube, right. There are many other millions of people are there who are having their own channels. How they can able to increase their business? Yeah, they want to increase their business means they want to really get in touch with those guys who are actively working on the YouTube, or who are content deliveries, right, who are creating contents and who are posting the content, right. So that's the reason what happened when they started interacting with each and every as their own customers, right. So they want to really get some benefit to them, right. For that reason what happened, all these companies they give perks, they give credit card codes, sorry, not credit cards, score cards they give for you, credit codes they will give for you. And also sometime even for some people they'll also provide some kind of a business proposition. There are many people are there like they have been called by the Amazon, like for example Abhishek Varumala also, many times he has been called by the Amazon only to come and give some kind of a delivery, something, like in UK or in US, they might call it. So they will sponsor the entire thing, guys. They will sponsor all the business trips, actually stay, interacting with the multiple people, a lot of people. They will try to do all such things actually. So for them, what happened? Why they are doing again, right? It's not like they're doing all things for the freebies. I mean, not for that, because they know that by doing that they are going to do a lot of value add for their product actually. And of course, what happened, right? They will see a lot of people are there who are promoting our products actually. See, ultimately, that is what in today's world it is required, right? It is every company, most of the companies, they try to design, they come up with their own product. But ultimately, what happened? The product has to be get sold, and it has to no, it has to generate the revenue. That is what the end it is required, right. See, unless and until your product is not sold, it is not generating the revenue. What is the use of designing or developing a product, right? Ultimately your the product has to reach to the end customer, and your product, so a lot of customer base you should increase it actually. That is what the idea behind designing, developing and promoting the product, right. So if your product is not sold at all, then usually what happened, right, there's no point, right. So that's the reason what happened, they will see all these promoters actually who promotes all these our products and everything. Correct, guys? So today I try to give some hints on like how exactly this business proposition works and all, right. I didn't go much detail. I'm just telling in a very high level how this things works actually, right. So now this AWS update, yeah, it has a 12 months plan. From this year, 2025 July onwards, they cut short that all those freebie plans instead of 12 months, that is 1 year, they cut short to 6 months actually. And almost there were many services were there, guys, which were very much free. Even for some services which were lifetime, they were free. Even they removed all those plans and all, right, right. Right. Some services were the many of the services which were free for 1 year. Now they're cut short to 6 months actually. Right. And you could see that earlier what happened before July, right? People who have created an account before July, they can use that service up to 1 year. People like us, like I recently created my account, right? One and a half month back, right? I am eligible only for the 6 months actually. And I have got only 100 dollars credit actually. That's all. It means that when I'm practicing for myself to learn AWS, I can able to only utilize this $100 actually. But before July, people who create account, like for example, people have created a account in the month of January or February, right? They'll get a 1 year subscription, and you could see that they will get a plan of okay, some 50 hours of EC2 instance they can use it. Okay, 30 GB of storage they can use per month actually. So those were something like the free, the the quantity what they had given for under the free service, it was very big actually. And a lot of companies know, like a lot of people, they started learning in a deeper way by utilizing these free services to maximum extent. But now what happened, Amazon and all, they have realized that many companies or many people are misusing that free service what we are giving. Instead, what they did, they cut short everything. They said, no, we only give 100 credit code and we will only go with the 6 months plan. And no freebie service. Earlier, they used to give some 20, 30 service freely throughout the life. Now that also they have stopped it actually. Because everyone now they want to really make revenue, right? They can't give freebie for a longer time now. Same thing with Azure, same thing with GCP, same with many other cloud. Yeah, there are some clouds are there, like for example, Acme Cloud is there. I think you might have heard about uh, Acme Cloud, Akamai Cloud, right? Acme Cloud. Yeah, you can create an account here. They are giving a lot of free services. They are giving many services. They are giving it. Yeah, you can for your learning purpose. You can go and you can create an account here. Similarly, you can go with the DigitalOcean Cloud. They are also giving a lot of services, free services. So many people are there who want to only utilize that service, right? For like me, who want to give training, right? Why I have to go with AWS now? I can go with any training, but since I'm explaining on the AWS cloud itself, yeah, I have to go with AWS only. Suppose I'm teaching any DevOps concept, like I'm teaching Kubernetes or Docker or something, right? Then I need not to really go with AWS. I can go with the Acme Cloud or I can go with the DigitalOcean Cloud, create the cloud, create the servers, and start showing everything. Start explaining everything related to your DevOps tools, right? For me, I will go with these clouds actually because here still they are providing so many free services actually, and the credit what they're giving is very high compared to other cloud. So like that, you can even search for some clouds, a new cloud which have recently come to the market. They will give a lot of services like in India, right? There is one cloud is there, right? What is that? What's a cloud, man? That office is in Noida, Delhi, actually, where they provide the cloud service, Utho.com, right? Utho Cloud, something, Utho.com. So that's the cloud, and they are also giving a lot of services, free services. And there are some small cloud service providers are there, which are there in Hyderabad. Even they are also giving a lot of freebie services, actually. So just to promote the business, they are giving for some time, like maybe like for 6 months or 1 year, with some more credits they are giving so that people can use it actually. They can get to know what this cloud is all about, and they'll be able to know it actually. And again, many of these clouds are word of mouth, guys. Many people would have not known, right? When a lot of people started using that cloud as a free service, what happened, right? No, that message will get transferred actually. Right, I might be using some cloud from one of the company in the Hyderabad, right? I will promote that cloud. I will tell, okay, this is a cloud, guys. This is a good cloud. So a lot of people start using it. It is like that's how the word of mouth flows, and you'll be promoting that cloud service provider. So like that way also many companies does actually. Like Heroku Cloud is there, DigitalOcean is there. Yeah, these are all are upcoming clouds. But even though the market cap is very small, a digital cloud, I don't think so. It is more than 1% or it's below 1%. But still, yeah, they have the customer base. They're having some dedicated customers, like 10, 15, 20 customers are there who are dedicatedly using their digital cloud actually, DigitalOcean Cloud. Similarly, Acme company, it's a very big network company. They are using this cloud for their own requirement, as well as they have made this cloud as a public also. So many companies, nobody would be using this. Not many people will be using with Acme cloud, but still you can go and you can create an account. You can make use of it actually, because you need to just learn for learning purpose. Yeah, you can go and you can create an account and you can work. Am I clear, sir? Guys, am I okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Rajesh.
Very good, sir. Now the thing is that, guys, you are having, when you go to the AWS, I am not showing you how to create account, guys. We already created that. Please, if suppose somebody doesn't know about it, go and watch the video or else try to connect with me. I will help you to create an account. That is one thing. First thing we should have we should have an account, and that is first point. And the second is that actually we will also understand like what are the under the 6 months, what kind of a free trial we are getting. Yeah, we'll be seeing in the next class now. And also like as I said, minimum 100 credit code credit $100 as a credit you are getting, but you can increase it to 200. How to do that also I will tell you, so that with that 200 also you'll be able to practice a lot of cloud related services. After post this 6 months also, guys, if you're practicing, still you're practicing it, you're using a lot of services, okay, and you are very much good enough to understand how to use that service and how to utilize the service and how to stop the service, how to terminate service and all. So you will not get that much bill. Hardly maximum I could see that in your billing account you might get around 500 to 600 rupees per month if you are efficiently using even post your free tire. Right, it is not that costly, only for practicing purpose. What happened, right, you will learn and immediately you will understand that service and you need to terminate that service, right? So you need to be very intelligent on managing and maintaining all these things, right? When you are having your own account, when you are playing around with understanding the concept and also like doing a lot of lab access, right, you should be very much intelligent, like how fast I have to practice and how fast I have to terminate the services so that I should not get much bill. So that and all, that tips and tricks and all we'll be learning in our upcoming sessions, right? So apart from this, guys, like what else other things are there? Like for example, we can go with the uh, you can go with the AWS subscription, right? AWS subscription plans actually. So new customer gets up to 200, but they say it actually, but only $100 will only get credited. When I credited, I didn't get 200, but there's a way to do it actually, right? And it's a free plan for 6 months. So you won't be charged unless and until you choose some kind of a paid service actually. So we are actually under the free plan now, which is not but $100 in credit, right? It is for 6 months. Post that actually it will be a paid plan actually. So you will get an email saying that, okay, you have to shift your plan from the free plan to the pay as you go plan. You will get an email actually. So after 6 months, you will get an email. With that, you will get a link actually. You have to just click on that link. It will take you to the AWS account where you can log in it, and then it will give the process of how to shift from the free plan to the pay as you go plan. If you're not going with the pay as you go plan, after some time your account will be terminated. It means that they are going to remove that account actually. So if you want to still continue with your cloud account, please shift to pay as you go. The same thing is there even for Azure also. If you have after 6 months of plan, you will get an email from the Microsoft Azure saying that, okay, now you have to shift to pay as you go or some other plan. So then you have to click that link. It will ask you to go and update your plan. Once you update the plan, again what happened? You will be continuing to use that service actually. Am I clear, sir? Now, apart from this, there are other things are there. Like for example, what are the other things, sir? AWS support plan. What is it? Yeah, support plans. Yeah, these are support plans, guys. Usually what happened, right? The support plans are all are paid plans only, right? For example, because since we all are learner, right? We are not doing any kind of a business with this account with the AWS, right? Since we are a learner, actually, always go with the free plan only initially, okay, and change it to pay as you go. Because in my case, right, I have shifted to pay as you go plan, right? But what happens? Sometimes what happens? Some companies want to go with some plans actually, because when they are using the cloud actually, they'll go the developer plan, business support plan, enterprise on ramp, and enterprise support plan. So you can see the guidelines of what this plan is all about. All these are paid plans only, right? The least paid plan is nothing but your developer support only, right? And you could see that actually when you mess up with anything, Like suppose like you're working on your project actually, and you're seeing some kind of a you're facing some kind of an issue. And usually what happen when you are with the developer support plan, usually what happen when you try to create a ticket to the AWS support team and say that okay, I'm finding this issue, please help me out. So they'll take minimum 24 hours or less than 12 hours to get your issue resolved. So it depends upon the plan, they will take an action. Same thing what happened, right? If you go with the enterprise plan, if there is some kind of a production downtime happens, they could see that you will be able to get resolved within 1 hour. So immediately what happened, the Azure team, right? Sorry, AWS team, they'll come into the thing, they will ask you to join a SWAT call or a bridge call, and you will be taken into a bridge call, and you need to share your screen, you need to show that code, this is what I'm facing in the production environment. Immediately they will try to fix the issue, within 1 hour. So it's all depend upon the plan with which you go, right? They will try to give that support, particular support like that. So please go through this plan and try to understand. I will not go with elaborately explaining this. Okay, it has many things, but yeah, definitely you can go with what is the billing assistance, everything you will get it, guys. Right? Because if I start explaining all these things, it will take it will take a lot of time actually, right? Now, after this, actually, what happened, right? Once you create your AWS account, guys, it'll ask you to go with one more level of authentication. One is the username and the password. Username is basically it'll ask you for provide some Gmail email ID. You need to please provide your Gmail ID plus set up the passwords for that. Once you set up the password, it'll ask you for one more authentication. So it'll ask you for MFA authentication. So you have to go with that also, because that this is a two-level authentication. One is a password. First, it'll ask you for the password. Once the password is provided properly, then it will take you for the authenticator. It means that either you can go with the Microsoft Authenticator app, which is installed in your mobile, or else you can go with the Google Authenticator, or else you can go with the Okta. Any kind of authenticator app, you can go through it. And then what happened? You need to set up the entire MFA. Right? Once you are set up, it'll ask you to give the code actually. You need to provide that code every time whenever you log in, so that your account is highly secure. Nobody will be able to hack your account. So that's the reason they force you to go with the second level of authentication, MFA authentication, right? So that has become a mandatory, right? Multi-factor authentication, they say MFA, multi-factor authentication. It's quite simple to set it up. Okay, I will tell you about how to do that also. So once you have set up everything, then you can start using your cloud service actually, right? Am I clear, sir? Okay, guys. So I think I thought I will start taking the region and all. Like, what about the availability zone region? In the next class, what I will do that tomorrow morning class, guys. I will try to take. I'll start continuing from there. So tomorrow session, next session, what I'll be doing that. Next session, I will start with the okay. What is the region, AWS region and availability zone? It will take me around 20 minutes to explain that. Okay. Okay. After that, what happened, right? We will try to understand about the AWS services. What are the different AWS services are provided? It will take around 10 minutes of time to explain that. I'll not go in detail in a very high level explain. Then we'll start understanding about the AWS networking. So we'll try to see what is AWS networking service provides. Very important, guys. I mean, we all have to be very good at AWS networking. You should not have any kind of a single doubt when it comes to the AWS networking and its services. And we will be trying to cover almost 90% of the service what is provided under the AWS networking. We will try to cover all those things. Here and there, one or two services I might miss it actually, right? It's not like purposely I'm missing. Maybe like what happened, some of the service I might have not used. I can able to theoretically explain it, but when it comes to practical, it might charge for me. Hence, I will not go in explaining about that particular service deeper in a deep way. So whatever the 90% of service provided, I will try to cover everything actually, right? So when we are starting AWS networking, guys, I will start with basic about the basics networking. Basic networking is what are the classes of IP address we are having, what is a private cloud, private IP and a public IP. We will try to learn these basic aspects, private IP and public IP. Okay. And we will be learning about the subnetting. Okay. For me, for this, it will take me one class actually. One class means it will take me like 1.5 hour, 1 hour, a 30 minutes class. It will take me to complete all these things, right? Once this is done, actually, then we'll go with the actual AWS networking services. Like we'll start with the VPC. We'll go with what is VPC pairing, all about many things are there. We will slowly will try to learn all the services with lab, actually, with conceptually making you understand and with lab. So from here onwards, our journey will start, guys. From VPC onwards, we'll start with our AWS networking. And this will take, as I said, right, it will take around like minimum like 12 to 15 sessions. It will take me to complete the whole thing, right? And in the class, actually, I'll explain about the VPC. Same thing in Azure, there is a VNet is there. I'll be explaining about the VNet. Same thing in the GCP. What are the service there? I'll be explaining about that also. So that parallelly you'll be understanding, okay, what is that service all about, how to do it, that and all. I'll theoretically I'll explain, but practically I'll not be showing, because again I have to show it. Practical means I have to get into the Azure portal and show you everything. That will take time actually. So let us first try to concentrate on completing AWS networking completely, 10 to 15 sessions. Once that is completed, then if you want it, I will take a separate session on AWS Azure networking. Azure networking will take around, say, it will take around 20 sessions to complete. Around, say, it will take, because that much content is there in Azure networking actually, right? Okay, but since you're concentrating only on AWS, guys, I think let us try to fix on AWS only. Let me complete the AWS only, right? After AWS networking is completed, then we'll get into AWS IAM, AWS EC2, storage, Route 53, like RDS actually, right? So many other services will go through it actually, right? AWS API, right? API gateway, right? Load balancers, like that. Right, so this is our journey, guys. So we'll try to have the class almost every day. We'll have now. Okay, okay, guys, so that's all, guys, for the day today. Okay, guys, one more thing I want to ask you, since most of you are available. Okay, I want to ask you, I have to ask you, like, I need to, next class which I'll be taking is a Git. Today we'll be taking. Can we take a session at 4 p.m. evening, 4 p.m. IST? Rajiv, are you available at 4 p.m. IST? 4 p.m. means it'll be for you 7:30. So what I'm planning now, guys, I'll be taking from 4 to 5, 5:30 or 5:15. 1 hour 15 minutes I'll take class. Okay, today evening, our India timing evening. And again, I don't think that Rajiv and Pankaj will be able to join. Let's see that if we are able to. I am also planning to take today again 9 p.m. IST. One more class. So it'll be hectic for, I know, it'll be a burden for all of us, but let's see, for 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST, I would request the Rajiv and Pankaj to go with the recording. Please, guys, go with the recording, this one. So this is what I'm thinking. The same pattern I'm available for as well as a 9. Oh, 9 means it will be too late for you, Pankaj. 9 means it will be late night, 12:30 for you. 12:30 to 1:30 I will take. So let me take 2 sessions today, so that we will try to cover. Same pattern we'll do tomorrow also. Tomorrow morning I will take AWS class. Okay. Evening 4 o'clock I will take Git class. And again late night I will take Git class. Again Monday morning we will take AWS class, like that. So whatever I missed yesterday, I missed, just to cover up. I'm thinking to take as much as, because Git I need another 8 to 9 sessions to complete the Git actually. So fast, if I able to complete, right, within next week, I have to hook or cook. By next weekend I have to complete the Git. All sessions have to complete, so that we'll start getting into the Docker actually. That's what my main idea. Right? Let us fastly get into Docker, try to complete Docker and then Kubernetes. That's how my plan is. Right? Let AWS, let it go every day. Let the morning class goes AWS. Evening class we'll have the DevOps class actually. So guys, are you okay? So let us meet today at 4 p.m. IST, 4 p.m. to just 1 hour 15 minutes, and again night, just give me 1 more hour. That's all. Right? Okay. Thank you, guys. Any concerns you're having? Yeah, it's a weekend. Yeah, thank you. It's a weekend. Yeah, thank you, Pankaj. राजीव भाई, आप अटेंड कर सकते हो, राइट? एटलीस्ट ये क्लास अटेंड कर लो. ये वाला नहीं कर पा रहे तो रिकॉर्डिंग देख लो. ज्यादा नहीं कवर करूंगा, सिर्फ 1 घंटा कवर करूंगा, राइट? थोड़ा थोड़ा हल्का फुल्का जो जो कमांड्स वगैरह एक्स्ट्रा थिंग्स है वो देखो. आप एक बार आप ये वीडियो वॉच कर लोगे 1 घंटे का, आपको पता चल जाएगा पूरा. सपोज इनकेस आप मिस कर रहे हो तो. हम्म? ठीक है भाई, थैंक यू ऑल गाइस, देन सी यू at evening 4 p.m. And to give a hint, actually, I'll be taking I'll be starting with the Git branching actually. लास्ट क्लास मैंने हैश का बोला था, राइट, कमिट आईडी बोला था, उसको डाइसेक्ट करके देखेंगे, ये सब बोला था. वो उसको मैं कवर करूंगा. बट लेट अस ट्राई टू स्टार्ट विद द गिट ब्रांच. ब्रांच क्या होता है, राइट? हाउ डू क्रिएट अ ब्रांच, लाइक हाउ व्हाई डू वी क्रिएट रिलीज ब्रांचेस एंड ऑल. ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग है विच वी विल बी कवरिंग दिस टुडे सेशन. लाइक very important, guys. Don't miss this class actually, because I'll be covering many things. What are branching strategies all about? What is how do you what is git merge actually, right? So many things related to branching only we'll be playing around in today's session. Once that is done, next session today and tonight also it will continue the branching only. तो आज का दो सेशन जो होगा 4 और 9 PM का, ये दोनों ब्रांचिंग पे होगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, ठीक है? सो डोंट मिस दिस क्लास, इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ये अच्छा रहेगा क्लास आप सबके लिए, ठीक है? ओके गाइस, थैंक यू, देन लेट मी स्टॉप द रिकॉर्डिंग. All right, guys, one more thing. Since most of you are there, guys, I will not put any kind of a message in our group saying, okay, guys, today's recording is uploaded. No, मैं अभी वो नहीं डालूंगा. You only go into the Google Drive, check it out, okay, whether Rajesh has posted or not. If I have not posted today's video, then ping me, saying that Rajesh, when you are going to upload the video. But you always, what I do always that, guys, whenever the recording gets complete, right, you will see that in next 1 hour that recording will be available in the time. Because for this processing of all these videos, right, what which we record, right, it will take minimum 1 hour. After 1 hour only, this video will be available. So that I'll be able to post this video, or I'll be able to upload this video into the drive. So after the class completes, you could see that after 1.5 hour, you check in the drive, that video will be available. So from now onwards, I will not put any message in our WhatsApp group saying that the guys have uploaded the video, go through it. You please always check. I'll only tell you that, guys, I'll only tell in the group that, okay, I'll be removing all the videos. Please download everything. That only message I'll put it. That's all. Clear? Fine, guys. Thank you then.